This time I'm remembering to press record. Welcome back, everyone, to Random Stupid Shit. For this episode, we have an all-timer for you tonight. We've got Shell. Yeah, Shell, you with me?
I'm here. How's everyone?
All right. We got Shell, and we have our special caller, Minnesota Ray. Ray, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Living the dream. Or the nightmare.
It's still a dream.
Yeah, it's still a dream.
It's still a dream.
Living with the choices he made.
Living with the choices he made. And well, we had Ray on last season, and Ray told us some fire stories. So tonight we're going to do some pontoon boat fishing type stories, because he started telling us a little bit about it, but we didn't have time to run that. And I was like, well, man, we got to get him back on because that was too much. But before we do, Shell has a question that she needs answers to, and I think Ray has the answers. Can you ask those questions, Shell?
Yeah, I got a couple of them. Have you ever seen a drunk moose in Minnesota?
A drunk moose?
Yeah, where they eat the rotten fruit off the trees.
I can honestly say that I've never run across a drunk moose.
Yeah, they eat the bad apples that fall, and they vermin. They say they get drunk and like to hump people. And I was just wondering, you got moose up there, right?
Oh my Lord, that's a folktale.
You know
that's
what?
A folktale.
It's a folktale, but I've
because the
heard that
deers
too.
do that here.
Yeah, I've heard that same story.
Yeah,
but that's what a
folktale
folktale is up there. It's a story that gets told because it's true. And I thought that would just stay up there in Minnesota, but it must be true. It must be true up there in Minnesota, the northern woods. I believe it because
snipes is not true. That is a myth. So don't ever go snipe hunting. Have you? Another question though is, how does a man with no arms wipe his butt?
Well, that's a good question, because I wouldn't have a clue how he would wipe his butt.
Yeah,
unless he does a bidet.
Oh yeah.
You'd almost have to use your mouth and a tool, right?
What?
Is what I've come up with.
Okay.
A mouth and a tool. Kind of like how a 600-pound person wipes their butt. They have to use an object to help them reach all the way around. Oh. So I'm thinking that. But how does a blind man know when he's done wiping?
Wait a minute. He has to use a tool with his mouth. Now everybody picture this. He has to use a tool. So does he go forward or does he go around?
If he has no arms, he's probably pretty flexible.
Yeah.
So he has to go forward.
Yeah, well,
but I would think, it would be forward. But I don't know how he would move his meatballs and all that. I don't know.
That's just, he's just going to grab that.
But he has no arms.
Yeah, how does he do that? He doesn't have any arms.
He's going to have two tools then. I guess his feet are going to have to lift his sack for him. Okay, we solved that great mystery.
Hey,
you think you've solved it? Nuh-uh.
That's what we do here on Random Stupid Shit. We solve all the mysteries of the world.
Random stupid shit. Right.
Well, there was one other question you had for me.
Okay, what's the next one?
I don't. Do you know what the rarest fish in the world is?
No, that wasn't it.
Oh, okay.
How does a blind man know when he's wiped, he's clean after he? I
already asked that.
No, you didn't. You asked how a guy with no arms wipes his ass. You didn't ask how a blind man.
I thought I did that one too.
Well,
how does a blind man know when he's finished?
How does a blind man know when he's finished?
Don't laugh at me. This is a serious question.
This is a serious question.
I will swear on whatever you want me to swear on, but that's the finger test right there.
That's the finger test? No, there has to be better ways.
No, There might be better ways, but
So
it doesn't mean that the man that's in the bathroom that has a sink next to you. Because I literally had a blind man about 5 years ago.
Shit or go
next to
blind.
me, and shit or go blind. And I asked him the same question. I said, "Wait a minute. How do you know you clean when you're done, doing the poopy thing?" And he said to me, he goes, "Oh, taking a shit?" And I said, "Yeah, taking a shit. Okay, let's just be blunt and say shit." He goes, "Oh, I do the finger test." I'm like, "What the hell?" He goes, "Yeah." He does the finger test. He wipes it 4 times, and then he puts his fingers down there to make sure there's no dingleberries. That's what he told me. Literally, he told me that.
I'm never shaking a blind man's hand.
I never have. Ever since then, I do the fist pump with them.
Not going to do it.
Hands are been.
Yeah, we don't do the shaking of hands of blind guys. And now I'm not going to do that.
No, I would not do that. Nothing against the blind guys, because this guy was cool as hell, but that's what he said to me. He said, "That's what I do." He goes, "I got to spell pretty down there, so I make sure I do spell." I'm like, "Okay."
Huh.
He goes, "Well, I do wash my hands after I'm done." I'm like, "I hope so."
That's some funny stuff. That's some funny stuff. Yeah. All right. So what are we going to talk about today?
Ray,
drunk mooses, butt wiping techniques.
I'm all excited to hear this story about the pontoon boat hand built by Minnesota.
I got one more question then, real quick. Are there rednecks up north?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I had. I'm done talking.
So
you're
rednecks
basically speaking to one.
Is rednecks a state of mind, or what?
It's a state of what you do.
Yeah,
redneck is a state of what you do. It's not a state of mind.
Yeah,
it's a state of what you do.
It's the stuff that you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I mean, you go to hang on. You. For instance, you got a volleyball net, and everybody knows you can hang it between 2 trees, stuff like that. But what people don't understand is a redneck, they might not want to hang that between 2 trees because they like the trees. So what they do is they get 2, and I've seen this, and forgive me, Lord. They get 2 cows, and they put 2 cows on the long side of it, and that's your net. And they call it the redneck volleyball net.
And the net moves, and you're running and playing. The ball's moving. The net's
exactly.
Moving. That'd be fun. Famous last words of a redneck. Volleyball. I can do that. Watch this. Wow.
Hold my beer.
No, they ain't let their beer down. That's where the beer hat got invented. Was because of cow volleyball. Guarantee you. They got bored of tipping cows.
Yep. They usually hold them, because cows have a tendency to just stand in one spot. And they stand up for a long
don't you wish you had a cell phone with pictures where you could take pictures like that when you were younger?
Back then, yes. Yes. Yeah. I was laughing when my cousin was doing this. I was just cracking up. There's 2 perfectly good trees right there. And why are you getting the cows? Well, we got plenty of cows, so we're just going to hook the net up between both of them. They're going to stay right here. How are they going to stay there? Well, you chain them to the tree. Well, why don't you just chain the net to the tree? That's my question. Why do you chain the net to the tree? Oh, because I like the tree, man. I don't want nothing to happen to the tree. And I'm like, but wait a minute. You're chaining them to the cows. Okay, that's just straight up stupid. But hey,
I do like burger too. So,
yeah. I mean, okay, that's what you want to do. That's what you do. Yep, happened on my
it's a wonder they didn't have a tree right in the middle. They put a tree in the middle of the net just to add another obstacle.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, Yep. So rednecks are up north. Neither have I. Nope, that was the first time for me and the last time.
All right.
But you want to talk about pontoon. All right. So, up in Minnesota, grew up on a lake. They have the land of 10,000 lakes, and most likely, if you're from Minnesota, you've been in a lake. When I was young,
got a lake.
Everybody got
a lake. Oh, yeah. And I was young. I was like in my early 20s. And we had this, what I thought was the greatest thing in the earth. It was a pontoon, but it was all in pieces. But it was a pontoon. You could see both oars and stuff like that, see the framework and everything. I was young. I keep on saying that because people are going to kill me. Because what I did to this pontoon was ridiculously stupid. So, first off, what you got to do is you got to do the water test. You got to see how many holes you have. Well, you check that and you see how many holes you have. And I'm stupid. And I'm a redneck, so I'm going to go and find something to clog these holes because I have about 8-9 holes. And I found, plastic.
20-something-year-olds are usually good at that. I'm sorry.
No, but it's true. Oh, my God. I found drywall plaster. I looked at it and it says, hey, it hardens, it doesn't say it's water resistant, but I don't care because this is what you do to carpentry. You cover holes with this, so I might as well cover the pontoon holes with this. So I put this plaster all over it, and I got both oars out, and I'm starting to get the framework up and running. And by the way, I didn't test the oars. I didn't put them in the water yet because I want the plaster to dry. And I look over to the right of me, and there's my dad. My dad comes out with a lawn chair, puts the lawn chair down, takes a little end table, puts the end table down, drinks his coffee, and has his cigarette right there. And he goes, son, I'm just going to watch you. And I looked at him, I said, yeah, you're going to watch a masterpiece happen. This is going to be a masterpiece. I got this. He sat there. And I swear, he didn't say a word. But so I got the framework. You got to put these frames, you got to tie the oars together. So you got this frame on. And how am I going to get this frame to stay on? I got it. We're going to go back to the weeping willows. Because those weeping willows, those are what the ancestors used to do. The ancestors. Weeping willows, they have this long, vaguely branch and everything. You can cut them off, and I thought you could tie them together. And so I tied it all together. I basically took a lot of weeping willow leaves to tie that thing, and the weeping willow. So I took like vines, and I tied it. And now I need something to go on top. And my dad's like looking at me and goes, well, you need something kind of light, don't you? I'm like, well, not really. I mean, it's a pontoon. Pontoon holds a lot of weight, so I mean, it's not a great pontoon, but it looks okay. It's like a raft right now. I just don't have the flooring. So what I did is I took styrofoam and put it on top. I didn't put plywood or anything like that because I thought that was good. So I put styrofoam because I figured, hey, extra lightness, I'm a big kid, I want to go fishing, And so my dad said, there's some of that styrofoam you want right there. Now, my dad didn't help me out. That's all he said right there. So I went over there, grabbed that, cut that up, put that down, and I figured my weight would hold that. So that's all good. That's good right there. And then I got the walls. Literally right there is a redneck boat right there.
I'd lie and say I was 8, man.
I was in my early 20s. At the time, I thought I was the engineer because I had everything all lined up. It was all in a square. My dad's sitting still back there, so I figured, well, it must look good because he's just going to sit there and watch me. So I figured we're good because he's watching over this scrap piece that I'm making into the masterpiece. I'm going to make this thing into the master boat. People are going to want this boat. So I have a old trolley engine, and these are one of the first ones that were ever made back about 20 years ago. And I have this old trolley engine, and I need an engine for my pontoon. And my dad looked at me and said, well, what are you going to do with that? And I said, well, I'm going to put it on the back end of the pontoon. He says, well, you sure you want to do that? Make sure you put something around it just in case it falls off. Because at that point in time, I think my dad knew whatever I did, he wanted that trolley engine back. But he knew the boat was going to float.
He didn't want to pay no fine for it going in the lake either.
That's too probably. So I get the trolley engine, and it's just a little engine. Put that on the back of the thing. I have a 2x4 that runs across because I can't stick it to the styrofoam. I'm smart now. Yeah, I'm smart, ain't I? Yep. That's what I said to myself. Yeah, I'm smart, ain't I? Okay. So I get the 2x4. I connect that with the vines because I'm going, man. I'm all in. I connect it. Got the motor on. Got everything going. I said, okay, I'm ready. It's dry. The plaster is dry. I'm ready. I pushed that into the water, and the water's nice and calm, so it wasn't really choppy or anything. And I said, Dad, I'll see you in about an hour. I'm going to go fishing. My dad looked at me with his crazy look on his face and goes, honey, give me a beer. It's to be entertaining. And I looked at him like, what do you mean it's entertaining? Yeah, styrofoam with vines with the pontoons and stuff like that. And I made my own pontoon boat. And, yeah, I got it out there. And I swam most of the way. And I got a dock. And so I get on it. And the minute I get on it, it's kind of creepy and everything. And I notice it's a little creepy. But I'm trying to be, it's going to stay together. It's going to stay together. I put that trolley engine in. And now this trolley engine's only like a half horsepower, so it's not real strong. So I don't think it's going to be. Lord have mercy. When I started that trolley engine up, I don't understand now why my dad said it was going to be entertaining. The first thing I did, I started it up, and the minute it started, all I saw was my front end and two pontoon bales go left and right. Me jumping on the styrofoam, it's coming apart. I'm trying to keep it all back together and everything, and I'm going in circles because my engine keeps running around.
And your dad can still see you?
Off the ocean, off the beach or the shore. I wasn't no more 15, 20 feet off the shore. And he can see me, and I'm going in a circle. I'm holding it together as much as possible and everything. And there goes one of my pontoon boats, one of my pontoon bayos right on the left side. The left side one started sinking. And I'm like, well, why is that sinking? That shouldn't be sinking. And I see the patches of plaster that I put up. Drywall plaster is not water resistant. So things come up in the middle of the water as this thing is going down like the Titanic. So now I got half the pontoon on the one side. I got the styrofoam and I got the engine still going, and I'm still going in a circle. So I don't know what now. My vines that's worthless. I mean, don't ever try that at home. Trust me, that doesn't work. And I grabbed the other side of the thing. I got my foot's on the engine, the little horsepower engine, and my arms are across the bayou, and I'm like trying to steer myself into shore, and I'm looking around like, Dad, are you going to help me? He goes, no.
No.
I'm not going to school.
No.
This is all day long. And eventually, at the end of this, I would ever tell everybody, do not build a pontoon by yourself, because I ended up having to sink the pontoon. Both bayous sank eventually. It took me about 20 minutes to sink the second one. That one sunk, and I had all this plaster everywhere on top of the lake. I'm on a styrofoam that's not going to hold me no more than 5 more minutes. I have an engine that's down on the ground, which has a bobber to it because my dad tied a bobber to it, because I thought I was cocky enough to say, no.
Had a bobber.
I don't need nothing to float this, and here's the bobber just popping up in the air. And eventually I get back to shore, and I go, well, I guess that didn't work. My dad looks at me and goes, yeah, now you got to clean the floor. And I'm like, clean the floor? What do you mean? Yeah, you got to go clean the lake of the floor. You got to get all that stuff out of there. Are you kidding me? No, you got to do that. First, get my engine out of there. And I go, well, where's that? And he goes, it's that bobber out there. And I go, how do you know? Because I tied the bobber to it because I knew you were going to fail. I go, why did you do it then? Why did you watch me do all this work all day long, knowing that I was going to fail? He goes, because it was entertaining and I wanted a good laugh. Oh, my dad, he wanted a good laugh, so he just let me do it.
Well, there you go.
Well, yeah. He didn't have a camera or nothing. See, my dad would sit back and watch us do stupid stuff like that, but he would just sit back just for his own amusement. He would do that.
Yep, my dad did it for his own use. We didn't have camera or anything like that, movie camera or nothing like that. But that's what he did. He sat back, told my mom at the time, honey, give me a beer because this is going to be entertaining. My mom sat there and said, I known this later in life. And my mom said, yeah, my dad, he wanted a good laugh. He said he was entertained all day watching you do this. And he said, when I got the beer, the first thing I asked him was, is he going to be safe? My dad goes, yeah, he's going to be safe, all right. He can swim.
He can swim. He can swim.
He can swim.
Well, we're weeding out the gene pool, honey.
He might be scared out of his
public service.
Power, but I really thought that thing was going to float, but no, not even close. I got 15 feet out from shore. First pontoon started breaking away. I started trying to hold it all back together, and then I started going in circles, and I didn't know what to do after that. When I started going in a circle, I had no idea what to do after that. But yeah, that's my pontoon story.
My goodness. Oh my goodness.
That is stupid shit that we did back in the day.
That was the stupid shit. That right there is random stupid shit.
Yeah. I got schooled one time in a car that was held together by a 2x4. The front and the back was held together by a 2x4. I think it had an 8x10 in there too, but yeah.
Okay, quick story. 1972 Plymouth Satellite. If you guys know what that is, that's a big ass car. You're in Minnesota, your doors freeze open. How do you keep your doors in? Because if they open, they will not close in the middle of January. It's 20 below zero outside. They're frozen open. How do you keep them in? Well, redneck way of doing it, get a bungee cord. That's how you do it.
Right.
Try traveling down 65 miles an hour with a bungee cord that are flapping like wings. My back doors were flapping. Like I had all the way. That's all they did. No lie. I actually had to do that going to school one day.
Ain't nothing wrong with bungee cords. We use bungee cords all the time.
No, nothing wrong with
my windshield wipers one time.
They ain't going to keep the doors tight. Bungee cords are supposed to have that stretching motion. Now, if I use a rope to tie the doors together and put a nice little knot on it and noose knot it, those doors wouldn't never move. But imagine a bungee cord. It has string to it. So when you're going over the road at 55 miles an hour, because I had to go down a highway to get to school, all my back doors were just flapping. I had kids behind me that said, Ray, what is wrong with your car? And I said, it's old. It's just the doors froze open. Well, how are you keeping the doors closed? I go, but bungee cord. And go, a rope probably would have been better. I go, yeah, but that's not the redneck way. The redneck.
See, I see. You just piss on them, right? Go warm them up and shut them. Everybody got piss marks on the side of their car.
When I was 20 years old, I wasn't thinking about pissing on my door. I could tell you that. Well, I was actually 16.
Well, we've had ice storms here, so that's how you get into the T-hole.
Yeah, well, that is a redneck too.
Whatever works.
That's right.
Whatever works. All right, so Ray came in and let us know about his pontoon boat story, and that was good. I have to say, I was really looking forward to that. So that was awesome.
I got a funny story. My brother told it to me the other day that he was deer hunting and he was up in his stand, and he said he just farted real loud, and this buck answered him. And he fart grunted a deer in and got the kill. Right?
Oh, that's about the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my lifetime.
Yeah, and I killed a turkey once without ever doing anything but looking at it. And he was just chasing me everywhere, and I turned around and I stared at him real hard, and he started shaking real bad, and he fell off the cliff, and he died. I mean, feathers went everywhere. But that was kind of funny. Caught a duck with a fishing pole. Yeah.
Caught a duck with a fishing pole.
Caught a duck with a fishing pole. My son would catch mice with a fishing pole. He would set it up and over a rafter in the old barn, and he would set a piece of cheese on a hook, and he would snap it, hook it to it's a little shopping bag, like a Walmart bag, and put the cheese in there, and then he see the mouse go in, and he'd zoop it up real quick and caught a mouse. That's how he caught mouse in the bag.
That's how we used to catch. We used to catch crawdads all the time out of the creek. Go over to the crawdad hole, take a piece of bacon, tie it on the end of a string, stick it down in there, and you can feel them, tug it, and pull them out.
Yeah.
I did tell you 21 gun salute that we did, didn't we? Didn't I?
No, I don't think.
The deer hunt 21 gun salute.
Yeah. You told me about it, but you didn't tell our listeners about it.
Oh, well, listeners, this is talking about deer stories and everything else. I have a million deer stories, and we'll get back to that in November because that's when deer hunting season starts. But my family's been hunting deer since my great-grandfather, and we own land.
Archery, do you use a bow or a gun?
Of it. Gun, bow, muzzle load.
Okay. Okay.
We've done it all. It's one of the pastimes that we're serious about it. I mean, we definitely are. But the problem is that we're serious about it, but we fuck it up all the time. we screw this up all the time. I mean, screw it up like you want, boys. So we got this thing called the 21 gun salute. And this happened when we were lined up. Now, up in Minnesota, we get high snows in November. Sometimes we'll get up to a foot of snow. And so when you're deer hunting and a foot of snow, you all line up in one line, and the first person kind of pays the way, and everybody walks that path. And we're walking this path.
It's a hard job going through that snow.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It really is. And we kind of trade off, once in a while. But we're halfway through a hayfield. Now, hayfields in the wintertime are nothing but just flat ground, snow everywhere. And we're going across, and it's getting kind of dusk. And then when in the wintertime, when it's dusk, that's when the deer come out to eat. Deer lay in the day. They lay during the day. They don't move during the day. They only move during dusk and sunrise. It's the only time they really move unless they're pushed. And we're getting ready to push this. This is our 80 acres. And this is the last time we're going to push these 80 acres for the day. And we're coming across, and we look over, and there is a buck looking at 7 of us. And I mean, looking dead center at 7 of us, about 50 yards away. And we all turn to the left, and we all get to our position, and we all pull up our guns, and we shoot 21 times. Now, we all have rifles. At this time, it was all rifles. 6 bullets in my clip with 1 bullet in my chamber, so I have 7. My cousin, who's next to me, has the same amount, and my brothers, but we call this the 21 gun salute because there was 21 bullets shot at this deer from 7 of us, all lined up in a straight line. 50 yards away, we got this deer, dead to center, standing right there, broadside. We pulled up, we shot. We shot. I didn't empty my clip. My cousin emptied his clip. My brother emptied his clip. My cousin down the way, he emptied his clip. We all shot. We all thought we hit him. We looked up after the smoke because there was a lot of smoke. That's a lot of gunfire. The deer's still looking at us. I swear to you this day, that deer looked at us, raised up his paw, and gave us the middle finger and said, y'all suck, and walked away.
Yeah.
We all missed it. We missed it.
Yeah.
We missed every shot. 21 shots.
You told me this story. He's like, Ben, these guys can't hit a broadside of a barn over here. They're pitiful.
Hit the broadside of a barn. I mean, the deer just stood there. But we're shooting. Didn't run, didn't nothing. And just looked at us like, oh, y'all not my makeup. I mean, I'm ready to die, and you guys just don't want me to die. I'm ready to give yourself, back to the Lord, and you're like, oh, yeah, I need to go find somebody else. And I swear he gave us the middle finger and just left, because it was one of the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything like that. By the way, I did lose my hearing because of that. Because my cousin, he's shooting this gun. I shot 3 bullets, and I can't hear on my left ear. And I'm like, oh, my God, and he's shooting from the hip. His second clip, he's shooting from the hip. He's like trying to be Commando at the time, Rambo. He's trying to be out there like Rambo. We didn't hit one single bullet on this deer.
Yeah, that's just fun. That's free fun.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, just all those things. But yeah, those are some deer hunting stories. So that goes along with it. The fart bringing in the deer.
Okay.
Yep, that's going up in the books.
All right. So, hey, we want to appreciate you coming on, and we're going to have you back in future episodes. So we'll say you have a good evening, Ray, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, brother, and all right, sister. Good talking to you both. Have a good night.
Bye-bye. Right. Bye-bye.
So he had some pretty good stories there, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm wondering what his honeymoon was like in his prom.
We'll have to get him back on and talk to him about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna have to give him a call. I bet you that's a pretty good story.
He's got some good ones, that's for sure.
He's funny. Funny.
So, Shell. Okay, Shell.
Yes,
do you have us a joke of the day?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But
did you come up with a good one today? You got a good one for us?
I did, but and I screened even. Yeah, but okay, hold up.
Okay,
it ain't the best.
It ain't the best.
This one was, but it was, and then now I can't find it. And it makes me so mad.
You need to write this down on paper.
Mad. Yeah, but it was a longer one. I write all the other ones down. So why are fish so gullible?
Why are fish so gullible?
Mm-hmm. It's because they fall for things hook, line, and sinker. No, that was an awesome joke. Why did the vegan fish go fishing? Why did the vegan go fishing?
Why did the vegan go fishing?
For the hell of it.
Oh, damn. Wow. The studio audience really liked that one. Whew.
Well, what's not to like?
I know. What's not to like? So, anyway.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up, and we're going to thank everybody for listening in. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch with us, it's kensnowstudio@gmail.com. And we also have a Buy Me a Coffee account if you want to contribute to our process here and help us out. We'd appreciate you and maybe give you a shout out. If you got some stories to tell us some stories. We might even have you on as a guest. You never know. But for
the odd and bizarre, we love them.
The odd and bizarre, we love them. The weirder it is, the more random, stupid shit it is, the more we like it. But
that is fun being a parent and just sitting and watching your kids do stupid stuff. That is fun.
Yeah. So for Ken Snow and Shell, Shell, give them your saying. Tell them what you say. Go ahead.
Shell, and I'll see y'all next week. You do you. All
right. So you do you, we'll do us, and we'll see you next week on Random Stupid Shit.